Hello everyone, Omnify here, and there's breaking news in the National Basketball Association. Kawhi Leonard is returning to the Toronto Raptors. So, for those of you who are not aware, Kawhi Leonard was drafted in 2011, and he was actually a part of a trade because the Indiana Pacers actually had that pick, but they had done a trade. George Hill, the point guard, he came to the Pacers, and the Spurs were able to acquire Kawhi Leonard because they saw the talent and potential in him in 2011. And credit to the Spurs and the coaching staff and the scouting and all that, because over the years they always um were able to see the players under the radar like Tony Parker and Ginobili, and um they were able to draft players who, like other teams, were not able to see a lot of star power or potential in, but I guess they were able to see who has a high, uh, you know, uh, basketball IQ and the potential to create a team they had wanted to create. So in 2011, the Spurs already. A lot of people assumed that even though they had a big three still of Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, a lot of people believed the Spurs were over and done with in their championships. They already had four championships at that point. The last one, it was in 2007. They had swept the Cavaliers, but then because they drafted Kawhi Leonard and he was able to progress, and he was in a in an organization who had a dynasty of the four championships and all that. So he was able to grow and progress. He had all the tools in terms of the physique and athleticism standpoint. And Kawhi Leonard, in what was it, in his second year in the league, he was already in the finals against LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and the Miami Heat, and they lost in 7 games. But at that point, he was still kind of unheard of. He was kind of just a role player in that finals, and a lot of the media hype and a lot of the focus, it was on the big three of the Spurs, like on Tony Parker, on Tim Duncan, and on Ginobili and all that. But then the next year, out of nowhere, 2014, it was a rematch, and the Spurs beat the Heat by the largest margin in points, in total points in the finals ever. They were blowing the Heat out. A part of it, I believe, is Dwayne Wade. His injuries and his knee ailments were kind of catching up to him, but a large part as well, credit to Kawhi Leonard. He was in his third year and he was able to grow and mature into a superstar. He was not a superstar at that point, but he was about to. He was on the verge and of becoming a superstar, and he had showed up on the stage of the finals, even though his stats, like if you see them, it was not like MVP eye popping out stats. Um, he he had to guard LeBron James, and so he guarded LeBron, and he was able to do offense and defense, score the ball and all that. So and he ended up as the Finals MVP as well. And then, eventually he became a superstar, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year on the Spurs. I think it was 3-time, I believe. Like, it has to at least be two, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 times if I'm not mistaken. Then he got injured in the 2017 playoffs in the Western Conference Finals. Zaza Pachulia had undercutted him in a jump shot, and then Kawhi Leonard had landed on the foot of Zaza Pachulia, which in turn twisted the ankle of Kawhi Leonard, and he was out. And then a lot of the bad blood happened after that, and eventually in the offseason of 2018. So essentially, Kawhi Leonard, he was sitting out, but the team doctors and the teammates of the Spurs, they all were saying he's good to go, he should play, and all that. But Kawhi Leonard, he's like, no, I'm not good. I'm gonna, and then eventually he got traded to the Raptors. In 20 offseason 2018, DeMar DeRozan came to the Spurs, and Kawhi Leonard had gone to the Raptors. And in his first season ever, he was able to win a championship over there. Him and Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. OG Anunoby was also on that team, but he was hurt in the finals, I believe, so he didn't really play. But now he's a champion on the Knicks. He's a two-time champion on paper, and now officially, like, he was playing in the games and all that, had a big part, as we know, in this in the 26 NBA Finals against the Spurs. You had the Knicks and Spurs. OG Anunoby is a dog, as we say, like he's a hooper. But anyways, Kawhi Leonard on the Spurs, on the Raptors, had a dream run and all that. But then he had left after he had won his championship, and he was, I guess, a free agent or something. And he had gone to LA Clippers in the summer of 2020, in the summer of 2019 after he had won his championship. So it was like it is a one and done. Then him and Paul George were able to go on the Clippers, and everyone was hyped up like, oh my God, LA Clippers got a shot now to win. Kawhi Leonard is going to win a third championship in his home city of LA. He is back in the States. He's in LA, and it's the battle of LA. Like, you got the Lakers, because the Lakers in that offseason had also acquired Anthony Davis. So they had LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and at that time, LeBron James, he was like at the tail end of his prime, like tail end. So it was still like hyped up and all that, right? So you had the Battle of LA and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, but unfortunately, man, Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers, it never lived up to the hype. He would keep getting hurt, or Paul George would keep getting hurt every year. As soon as playoff time is coming around, and both of them are unavailable. I mean, I still believe, if healthy, Kawhi Leonard is a top 5 player in the world. He's still unguardable if healthy. He was just healthy all of last season, and he played amazing. So it's nice to see he's on the Raptors again. Him and Scotty Barnes. So this year in the playoffs, the Raptors had lost in the first round to the Cleveland Cavaliers in 7 games. I think if Kawhi Leonard's healthy and plays how he did, and in the East, and where like a lot of the teams are balanced and like equal, like you don't have like a juggernaut of a team like OKC or like the Spurs or something, even though the Spurs is all Wembanyama, which is crazy. But I think the Raptors, are able to compete. If Kawhi Leonard's clicking, and if Scotty Barnes improves and all that. So Ingram is not on the team anymore. He was traded. Him and Grady Dick are now on the Clippers, and I think someone else or a pick or something like that. But I think they got a shot for sure. I don't know about the finals, but they are gonna make the playoffs, of course, and it'll be interesting to see where they end up. But personally, I would have liked to see a true return home where Kawhi Leonard is back to the Spurs. Okay, so because he is most remembered on his time on the Spurs, even though his 1 year on the Raptors was unforgettable as well. But he is most remembered of his time on the Spurs, and the Spurs were in the finals. They have the alien Victor Wembanyama. So if Kawhi Leonard is able to, he's able to go back and win a championship over there and take the Spurs over the hump. And man, like Kawhi Leonard and Wembanyama, like wow, talk about a third championship. Because in the Raptors, he's gonna make the playoffs and all that, but it could be a whole other situation like of the LA Clippers, where it's it looks cool, him and Paul George or something like that, but never really amounts to the hype. It never is living up to the hype. But the Spurs, man, they were right there in every game in the finals. So add Kawhi Leonard, he's clutch. He hits big shots. He's been there. He's done that. He's a 2-time MVP of the finals. He's the king of the North, as you see in the thumbnail, because he won in Toronto. But, man, I don't know. It would have been cool to see him on the Spurs, but it is what it is. Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors, no longer LA Clippers. I guess the LA Clippers are done. I mean, I don't know who they have now, really. I mean, Ingram is. I mean, he can play, but he's not really an all-star. I mean, I guess I don't know. Like, yeah, like he was not an all-star this year. It was Scotty Barnes was the all-star. So yeah, East is looking good. You have the Celtics still. I'm still curious to see if Jaylen Brown's going anywhere, and of course you have the Knicks, who are the reigning champs. Yeah, you got the Cavaliers in the mix. And speaking of the Cavaliers, it's now announced, it's official. LeBron James will not be staying on the LA Lakers. I guess the Lakers they are under new ownership, and they have decided to part ways with LeBron, and they gave Austin Reeves, the younger player who they see potential in, the bag of the money. So LeBron, it'll be interesting to see where he goes as well. If he goes east again, to Cleveland or something, or who knows? I don't think he'll go to the Raptors like Kawhi, but I'm just saying like the Heat or something like that. A lot of speculation is the Warriors, but Steph Curry and LeBron teaming up, and LeBron he's like in December he'll be 42. Steph Curry is 38 or something almost. He is 37 or he's 38 or something. I don't see how they're able to win a championship with Steph Curry and LeBron, because if LeBron and Doncic were not able to win it, I don't see how this happens. But anyways, as I was saying, Kawhi Leonard traded to the Raptors, and it should be exciting to see how this plays out. And I do have to I do have to take care of something at the moment, but so I'll just I'll keep it short, but it should be exciting, and I'll update you guys on the LeBron news, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, have a good one.